Welcome student, welcome to the channel. In this video we will see the impact of British education on Indian society, and before going into it we have to go through one question, that why the British education influence is so deep and so long lasting that even today we have to compare the British education with our current education system. So in this case, for the answer of this question, three reasons are here, and three prominent reasons are that the British education works as a pioneer or as a starter of the technology in India. Secondly, British education represents the whole world to us, and it brings a new change scenario to the Indians. And thirdly, Indians accept British authority in every field. That's why the impact are long lasting. And apart from that, we can say that the English education was solidified in India with the arrival of European missionaries, and these missionaries play an important role in our education system. And by these missionaries, or for these missionaries, several education policies were introduced to integrate more and more people to the education system. And the Indians follow the Western science, and their transformation towards the English language brings a deep change in every aspect of education system of India. First, we take the social impact of British education. And in this regard, first one is that many social evils of Indian society was reduced, like polygamy, widow marriage, early marriage, child marriage, untouchability, and many more. Secondly, with the illusion of British education, a new class was emerged, which was called a customer class or the middle class, which was forced to live in an illusion of success. Thirdly, we can say that British education brings equality before the law, and Britishers introduced uniform laws in all the Indian territories under their direct control. And by reducing these traditional social privileges of the Indian society, mainly related with the upper class, they reduce the caste discrimination in Indian society, which can be considered as one of the positive aspect of British education. And fourthly, we can say that the improved social interaction was introduced by the Britishers, and by this improved social interactions, great interaction can be seen in between the Indians from the different parts of the India. So the Britishers brings Indians all together geographically, as well as in context of the laws. So these are the four positive aspects of the British education in social scenario. Let's move further. The economic impact of British education. The Britishers ruin the urban Indian handicraft because of the competition with the cheaper imported mechanical products from the Britain. And secondly, the peasants were progressively made more poorer under the British rule, and Indian agriculture was stagnated and destroyed by the Britishers in this time period. So economically, India get a negative impact of British education and British system. Let's move further for the economical. And in economical, we can say that a new class which are called zamindars in Hindi, or in English we say revenue collectors. So zamindars mainly in the Bengal and Madras were ruined by the Warring Hastings policy of giving the rights of revenue collection to the highest bidders. And secondly, the Lord Dalhousie period, time period, they introduce a railway, so which brings uh, penny postal system in India, which is a positive impact. So we can say that in economical context, we have both positive and negative impact of British education. The cultural impact of British education. Before seeing the cultural impact, we would see the definition of a culture. So, what is the meaning of the word culture? Culture means an idea or a custom or a social behavior of a particular person or a particular society. So, we can say that if a particular person or a group of person follow a particular idea or a custom or a social behavior, it's called culture. And in this context, we can say that Britishers were the torch bearer of Indian culture. They bring a renaissance to our culture, and many reforms were done during this time period. And one of the most important reformists of from this time period was Raja Ram Mohan Rai, and in the year 1828, he reformed many social evils by his Brahm Samaj. And apart from Raja Ram Mohan Rai, in many other reformists did their well for for the improvement of Indian society, and every possible way of the Western impact was taken out to uplift the Indian society and to enrich the Indian culture. So, in this regard, we can say that the cultural impact of Britishers were positive. Let's move further for more cultural impact. So, by the impact of Britishers, the society was Indian society was reduced to their evils, and the social ignorance was reduced to the least. And the British education brings transformation to the Indian society, and they bring all the levels of society more closer. And the rigid rules or the social structure, which is very fussy or which was very rigid at that time period, was smoothened by the British education, so that every new aspect can be adopted easily. So we can say that the cultural impact of the Britishers was one of the positive aspect of our society. Let's see next the political impact of British education. The political in political context, the rule of law, which was started by the Britishers, and this rule of law was create a society which is called organized society or panchayati raj system, and bureaucracy was started by the Britishers. Apart from that, the political instability of India was reduced to come to an end. Now we have a permanent government set up. New hierarchy of judicial system started. The full panel of the judges was taken out in after the Britishers' impact. Let's go ahead. The idea of human equality, human rights, and liberty were the gift of British influence. This is the one of the most positive impact of Britishers, that they bring human equality and human rights. And next, under the British impact, now the Indians demand for their constitutions. Now everyone is aware about the importance of a constitution for a country. So all this happens because of the British education. Next, Indians started to establish a group or organization, and in this regard, a national congress started in 1885. So now the political parties were started to begin in an Indian political scenario, and the new concept of equality before law was introduced by the Britishers, which brings equality of every person apart from the caste, creed, or religion, which is another one of the great positive impact of the British education. So in political scenario, we see more a positive impact rather than the negative impacts. Let's move further. In the end, we can say that there are both positive and negative impacts. If we talk about the positive impacts, we get new job opportunities in India due to the British impact. We get rise to the modern middle class. They get improvement, they get new changes. The middle class of Indian society get new scenario. And third one, we can say that infrastructure development can be seen in India by the British impact, or positive impact was one of the another positive impact was that Britishers bring new technology to the India. So these are the few positive, and apart on the other hand, we can say the negative parts. They have the divide and rule policy, which is very harmful to the Indian society. They destroy the Indian industry by bringing their mechanical products. And third one is the forced cultivation was another one of the most negative impact of the Britishers. And third, the unethical business, where the one person get more importance in comparison of the others. So on the surface, it may seem that the British rule in India that transformed its society for the better, but closer look told us that the benefits were purely coincidental, and they are for self-serving. They are not for the development or growth of the Indian society. So we have this in this video. We will meet in the next video for the other aspects of Indian education after freedom. Till then, thank you. Bye bye.